marketing. I would prefer, rather than self-employed, I would prefer to look at some of the Facebook pages where those self-employed people would be looking at. Or, there's distinct areas. There's entrepreneurs, and there's also like the BizOps, or the business opportunity market, or multi-level marketing pages that you might want to target. Now, some of those for people who are online marketers, there are some big followings on pages like Mike Feels the Same, Rich Sheffrin, Jonathan Budd is another really good one to target. That crosses over a little bit with the BizOp opportunity as well. So have a look at some of the online marketers that have some big followings. Tim Ferriss obviously has a really big following as well. 4-Hour Work Week. So don't limit yourself to actual speakers, authors, or online marketers. Think about perhaps the books that they might be, they might be reading or interested in. There are some good pages that actually can't be targeted, like Brendan Bouchard has a good Facebook page following, and his customers obviously buy at higher price points and would be great to target, but he doesn't come up as an opportunity. So you need to experiment and play around. So Linda's asking, will I be showing us how to drill down to a highly targeted audience? Just type in, Linda, I'm happy if you type in what sort of audience you'd be interested in finding out, and I can show you. I mean, this is pretty much how I'll be drilling into a highly targeted audience, in that I would be choosing via their demographics, and then in this, using this precise interest targeting. That is the way to target, to getting really targeted, and making sure that you're in front of people most likely to buy your products or services. Yeah, the other thing I mentioned was the audience size. This is really important as well. So not only do you want to make sure you've got your targeting right, you want to make sure that you're advertising to in between sort of 20,000 to 200,000 people. You don't want your audience to be above 200,000 people just within that one ad, because your message becomes too diluted and you won't get the number of clicks relative to the time, to the number of displays, which is what Facebook used in its algorithm to make your ads cheaper. So keep your reach between about 20,000 to 200,000. Be aware that the lower number of audience that you choose, so more towards the 20,000 range, it will take a bit longer for your ad to get clicked on. So a good sweet spot is around the 100,000 range, but it does depend on your product or service. I'd rather you get your targeting right than just be trying to get your numbers up, if that makes sense. So, and then someone's just said there's a few other questions. I might save those ones to the end, and then we'll have a look, because I've got quite a few rolling in now. So, but there's opportunities. If you've got certain areas, then you can, if there's certain industries that you're looking at, you can definitely type those in and see what comes up as well. With B2B, or people targeting just IT, businesses in general, or you can look at if there's perhaps a big headquarters or a big company that you know that you want to get in front of. You can target by employer, so that's a good way of getting into some of the bigger businesses. If you want to target, a category in general, then use the broad category targeting and search within that, and you'll probably find more success with that than you would with the precise interests for B2B advertising. So make sure that when you go to bid, so we want to make sure that you're paying as little as possible, but in order to start out first, you need to set it up the right way so that Facebook gives you as many displays as possible up front to give you a good chance to get a high click-through rate and then pay less per click. So with this option, when you get into go to now, one of the big changes with Facebook is that they ask you about your objective. So they'll often say, do you want to show, or they do say, do you want to show this to people who are most likely to click on your advert or sponsored story, or like your page, your ad, or like your page, and build your likes. Now, this is obviously the option for when you're keeping your traffic on Facebook. If you do decide to advertise to another page on the interwebs, perhaps it's your website or a landing page or a squeeze page, then you won't get that option. You'll only get the option for clicking on the sponsored story, and also, clicking on your ad. The thing is, you won't get the opportunity to pay for the ad just to be blanket displayed, which is the other option. But I don't advise that anyway. So just make sure it always says that you want to target the people most likely to click on your ad or sponsored story, and name your campaign. Put in your campaign budget for the day. You can schedule your ads so that they start and end at a certain time, so you know that you're totally in control if you're not going to watch your ads. But I like to manually manage mine and make sure that I'm watching and seeing how they're performing. So I prefer not to use the scheduling if I'm not, if I'm doing the basic types of advertising. So it's up to you what you want to do there. Just know that that's a feature. Now this is where you need to set yourself up right too. So you want to make sure that you're bidding within the suggested bidding range. So Facebook will give you a suggested bid. Now here, obviously, it's quite, a fair range, say 66 cents to $1.22 Australian dollars, which the Australian dollar is pretty much the same as the US dollar. The average cost per click in the United States is about 70 to 75 cents, according to the most recent research. So you need to be factoring that in, and particularly when you start off, you're not going to be getting, super cheap clicks when you're testing and finding out where your audience is. But do be aware that even when you put in the suggested bid here, if you've set up your ad the right way, you'll generally be paying a lot less than what the suggested bid is. Keep in mind as well that the bid does change throughout the life of your campaign. You want to be going in and checking that regularly. So let's go to the next one. So how do you know if your ad's performing well? When you go into your ads manager in your dashboard, so it's facebook.com/ads will take you to the place you need to know to start setting up your ads. And then once you have created an account, you'll be able to come in here and see how your